So, yeah, this is totally going to be one of those trippy ass by the seat of my pants episodes, which is going to be kind of interesting for a special holiday episode, but it's just Thanksgiving, not Christmas. So, if you're from the US like me, happy fucking Thanksgiving. Yes, I realize technically Thanksgiving isn't until tomorrow, or the day after this episode airs. And one big reminder, if a lot of you are going to be out traveling, maybe right after watching this, and there's going to be a lot of traffic on the road, so please give each other a little common courtesy, and if you're going to drink, do it when you get where you're going. No drinking and driving. Okay? No drinking and driving. Seriously? People get killed when you do this and drive. So don't fucking do this and then drive. Get a designated driver if you're going to do this. Or wait until you get where you're going to do this. Or something. And no, I'm not planning on doing any driving after I shoot this episode. Because seriously, you should not drink and drive. Feel free to drink. Just don't drive after you do, until you're sober. Anyway, I'm not really sure where to go with this, because it is literally about 4:40 in the AM on the actual air date of the episode, November 23rd, 2016. Literally, I dragged my feet so long in making this that I've got to shoot the whole fucking thing, and yeah, I've got to shoot the whole fucking thing right now so that it can upload and still go out on time. So, I don't know about you, but I think I need one more here. Actually, I've got plenty more where that came from. And, by the way, you shouldn't drink on the job if it's prohibited by your employer. For instance, if you have a paycheck job where no alcohol is to be consumed, don't do this at work. On my own YouTube series, I'm perfectly fine to do this on this job. I wouldn't do this at my paycheck job. No fucking way. I don't want to get fired and I still need the money. But when I'm on the set of my own YouTube series doing this on my own self-employed venture, totally fine. Oh shit, it's empty. Better grab another one. Got me one of those create your own 6-packs from the Kroger in my area has a craft beer section, and you can build your own 6-pack out of individual bottles. So if you like different things, you can do this with all kinds of other. That's really not the greatest one, but it's kind of skunky. Didn't reveal any brand names, but yeah, don't drink and drive. And it is Thanksgiving, so a lot of you have different things that you may be thankful for. If you're a fan of Chicago baseball, and especially the Cubs, well, they finally won a fucking World Series this year. Now, I've kind of heard this superstition about the number 108 being lucky, or that 108 is lucky. It's kind of interesting that it's been 108 years since their last World Series. Oh, excuse me. And they finally won a World Series after 108 years. So there may be something to this 108 thing, I don't know. If you voted for Trump, you can be thankful that he probably is going to be elected by the Electoral College. If you voted for Hillary, you can be thankful that in 2020 there's going to be another chance to vote for somebody to get Trump out of there, assuming the Electoral College doesn't turn around and say, oh no, we're going to put somebody else in there. Technically they could. I didn't really like either of these two, and I'm not going to say who I voted for, but it wasn't either of them. Maybe. No, I'm not going to tell you. But the thing is, I totally lost my fucking train of thought there. How about some inspiration? Hey, the show's called Uncensored. You're gonna see ludicrous shit that's not meant for kids. By the way, if you are under the legal drinking age, which in the United States is 21 years of age, in most other countries it's 18 or 19, I think it's 20 in Japan, don't do this. Because doing this is only for grown-ups. Where was I? Yeah, if you voted for Hillary, you can be thankful that someone else will be running against Trump in 2020. Again, assuming the Electoral College elects Trump. They might not. They probably will, they might not. Though, I'm kind of scared shitless for the debates and the campaign commercials for 2020, because I heard that Kanye West is running for president, and I don't have anything against Kanye West. I mean, yeah, the conspiracy theory in me knows at this point that that whole incident with Taylor Swift was staged by both of them. There's proof that they were both in on a song where he calls her a bitch and says he made her famous. And yeah, those tapes are actually out there. Google it. I'm not going to get into a long thing right now. This episode might be a one take if the battery holds, because I've seriously got to get a new fucking camera. Yeah, that's going to happen a little. I will try not to belch loudly, but when you do this, it happens every couple of minutes. So anybody who does this already understands. If you don't live in the US, well, obviously you probably don't celebrate Thanksgiving anyway, unless there are Americans in your family tree, or you are going to visit some expatriates who celebrate Thanksgiving in your country. But you can always do the whole be thankful thing, even if you don't do the turkey and homemade dressing. Nothing against stovetop, but come on. make homemade dressing or stuffing or whatever you call it for Thanksgiving. Seriously, it's not that hard. Break some bread up, chop some vegetables up, throw a little onion soup in. Oh, it's delicious. It really doesn't take any longer than stovetop. I should post a recipe, but to be honest, I've always done it more intuitively than from a recipe. If I had time, I would totally fucking post that video, maybe next year. Also the title of a really good short film from a friend of mine from Centerburg who was actually in one of my movies, in the first one, there's actually possibly someone from Centerburg in the cast of the new one. I've just been a lousy communicator with my cast for the new one, and I don't know if she's still interested. If not, it's nothing personal. I mean, I'd rather not recast the role, but I'll drop her a line and see, hey, you still want to be in the movie? I'm getting ready to shoot it. I know it's been 2 years since we've shot a scene. And if not, hey, no biggie. Maybe another project another time. Hey, almost 12 minutes in. Maybe I should just shoot all of these from the seat of my pants. It seems to go faster. And although I have to do this a whole lot more if I'm going to do that. I'm kind of concealing brand names as much as possible. They do that in the movies a lot because of potential trademark and copyright infringement rules. And if you go to sunnyboo.com, there was actually at one time a really good link to actually I think it was on Framelines, and unless you're in Columbus, Ohio viewing area and get the local PBS station, WOSU, I don't know if you can watch Framelines other than online, but totally worth seeing if you're into independent filmmaking. It's kind of a regional. I think some of the public TV stations in Ohio carry it, but it's actually shot by somebody I'm Facebook friends with, or was at one time, Peter John Ross. I don't know if we're still connected on Facebook or not. He might have seen Uncensored and been like, hey, fuck you, Blake, I'm done with you. But we encounter each other at film festivals. And yes, there are film festivals in Columbus, people. It's not a totally uncivilized place, like, I don't know. Hell, even Bellefontaine is getting a little more cosmopolitan. Yes, it's pronounced Bellefontaine, not Bellefontaine. It's people who are from out of town tend to mispronounce a lot of the names of towns in west central and northwestern Ohio, for instance. It's Lima, not Lima. In Peru, it's Lima. In Ohio, it's Lima. We pronounce the I like pie because we're Midwesterners with Midwestern accents. And yes, we do have accents. And actually, Ohio has several accents, depending on what part of the state you're in. Like, somebody from Marietta kind of sounds literally like somebody from Kentucky or West Virginia for the most part, or so I've been told. At least everybody I've encountered when I've been there sounded more like they were from West Virginia, which it's right on the river across from them, so not a big surprise there. People from Cleveland kind of sound more like, it's like a little mix between the North Central, which is probably closer to what I sound like. That like the North Central is kind of like the people from Toledo. I lived there for 4 years. I think I picked it up, and I've probably got a little bit of everything in my voice, because I was also an over-the-road truck driver for 3 years, and every once in a while I catch a little southern twang coming out. But that could be because where I grew up, a lot of people have that twang. Logan County, not to be confused with Logan, Ohio, where people probably also have the twang. But yeah, there's a lot of people that sound kind of like they're like not necessarily deep south, but there's I don't know, there's a little bit of a twang in people's voices. They're like kind of similar to that of people from Kentucky or Tennessee or even Texas. Yeah, you get to Toledo, people kind of sound like they sound more like they're from Detroit or Chicago, at least to me. A little more nasal, a little like they'll pronounce the name Mary or the word Mary, like to marry someone as your husband or wife, or the word as in Merry Christmas as the same word. Or, and this is something I notice with people from, especially like from around Dayton and Lima, they pronounce words like wash like there's an R in it. Okay, people, there is not an R in wash. It's not wash, it's wash. Okay? Seriously. But I digress. Probably have a few elements of all the Ohio accents, because I mean, probably mostly the, well, not really mostly anything, but, when you're born in Columbus, grew up in Logan County, and went to college in Toledo, yeah, I catch elements of all three, and there are some distinctions. Only people from Ohio know the difference. And actually, only people from Ohio who have an ear for it. But I actually never lived in the city of Columbus. Actually, we actually lived in a little, like right outside two little small towns. One was Harrisburg, one was Orient. And Harrisburg was the mailing address, I believe, but I don't know. We moved away from there when I was less than a year old, so... First place I remember living's in Logan County, so... I probably do not have the... I don't know if Columbus has an accent. It's probably a little more... From what I notice, it's similar to the Cleveland and Pittsburgh, but a little more of a blend with the southern, like the southeastern part of the state, and more of a blend of the north central. Like, they're literally nasal and have a twang and mishmash words a little more like the north central, but at least they don't pronounce O's like this, although that's more of a Wisconsin or Minnesota thing. Hang on, need a little more inspiration here. But I'm almost at 20 minutes now. If you really want to have some fun this Thanksgiving, and you don't have much time, Or really, so really over the holidays in general, find one of the remote controlled tarantulas. Don't tell people you have the remote control. Don't let people see the remote control for it. This might be more of a fun Christmas activity. Just put it out and move it around a little. Totally fuck with people's minds, especially if there's anybody in your family who's afraid of fucking spiders. I know, totally fucking evil, right? But why not? Why the fuck not? I don't want that beer. I'm gonna try this. Ooh, this is a good one. We're not going to reveal brand names on the YouTube because of potential trademark and copyright laws. But this is from a brewer in Akron, and their stuff's really good. Well, wouldn't you know it, the battery decided to say, fuck you once again. I think this camera's going bad. But, that said, yeah, you've probably got more to be thankful for than you think you do. And seriously, if you have one of those little remote-controlled tarantulas, that is definitely something to be thankful for right there. But, getting on to another topic, part of me's always wanted to celebrate Thanksgiving the way the Pilgrims did when they came here. But if I were to travel to another land, invite people to dinner, kill them and steal their homes, and then start burning people for practicing religious views other than mine, I'd probably go to prison, and I've heard foreign prisons aren't very good. So, I'm just not going to go there. Anyway, happy Thanksgiving, fuckers. And remember, if you do this, don't fucking drive. Okay? Later.